Hello, my name is Shannon Culpepper. I am the Creative Brand Strategist here at Delta Electronics Manufacturing Corporation. Delta is the vertically integrated global manufacturer of RF, microwave, and millimeter wave connectors, as well as cable assemblies and other value-added assemblies. Our products service numerous industries, but our strength lies in our support of the military and overall commercial marketplaces. I want to thank you today for joining us on our kickoff of our Delta Global Connect podcast. Today, we will be speaking with one of the pillars of the interconnect community, our very own Director of Sales and Marketing, Mr. Terry Hannan, who has decided to move into retirement. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining me. I'm guessing you're having a hard time believing that your career here at Delta is winding down. And I also expect you're looking forward to your retirement and the next exciting chapter of your life.
You know, Shannon, it's true. I am retiring. So when I look back, it just seems like such a short time ago that I came to Delta. But my gosh, the calendar says it's been 19 years. You know, I'm in my 20th year now, and it's just been an incredible company. What an outstanding and polished company it really is. I'm grateful to have been granted the privilege to put my hat here for the last 19 years. I'm going to miss the people. I'm going to miss the customers, our representatives, and our overall distribution base. You know, even with all the technology, it's still a people business.
I have to ask, what brought you into the interconnect business?
You know, it's funny. I worked at a company named Auget Incorporated back in Attleboro, Massachusetts while I was going to college. And they were gracious enough to let me work there during the summers, and also even during the school year. I worked up to about 20 hours a week. Ended up a lot of the time I spent there, and gosh, it was almost 4.5 years that I was there. I mostly worked in the shipping department, but I did some manufacturing jobs for them as well. But I really got to know a lot of the upper management there because we had hiking clubs, softball teams, there was a tennis ladder. There was actually a ski club too, and I actually joined each and every one of those. And so it was really great camaraderie. It was really nice. So upon graduating from college, I really had no intention of going into, because Auget was a connector company, and I didn't think I'd go into the connector business. But I graduated with a marketing degree, and I came out, and luckily enough, one of the product managers had just created a brand new product. It was called the Hold-Tight Contact. It was a zero profile IC socket. It was pretty innovative in those days. So he needed to have somebody come in and become almost a product manager for this Hold-Tight product. It was a zero IC socket. So anyway, I was pretty excited about that, but at the same time, my love is really in sports, and I was offered a job at a sporting goods company out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, believe it or not. And boy, it really sounded good. They wanted me to become the assistant to sales manager, which is really kind of right up my alley where I wanted to go. And again, sports. So boy, it really looked like it would be perfect for me. But they had one little caveat in there, and the caveat was that I needed to actually commit to leaving and joining a territory after 1 year. So that I'd be basically in-house training for a year, but then I could end up in Nebraska or Oklahoma or who knows where, maybe San Diego. But as a New Englander, I really wasn't ready to do that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to high tech. So, and that's where I started in the connector business. Thanks for asking, Shannon.
Excellent. Thank you. And where do you think the interconnect industry is going?
Well, that's a great question. You know, Delta's a small niche in the overall interconnect world. Our niche is really RF, microwave, and millimeter wave interconnects. In that realm, I really see it's going to be growing. I mean, you've got 5G now that's coming on very strong. That's going to help expand the higher frequency volume needs. A lot of those interconnects have actually been used for a number of years in the military and also in test and measurement. So it's really a proliferation of getting some of those same interfaces into some gang mounting requirements. And I think that's really where you're going to see a lot of the growth is in the higher frequency product needs. On the other end of the spectrum, there's also a need for higher power. So where the higher frequency is going to smaller and smaller connectors, I think you're going to see on the power side, the connectors are actually going to become a little bit larger. So they're going to be driving power. So I think there's two different spectrums that's going to be pretty popular for quite a long time and should keep Delta growing and thriving. So beyond that, I can't tell you anything else, Shannon.
Well, thank you for that, Terry. The other question I have is, what kind of advice do you have for young professionals like myself entering the interconnect business?
Well, it really depends on the background of that individual. I think, if I had to do it all over again, and I've told myself this a few times now, I came out with a marketing degree, but if I had to do it all over again, I would have definitely pursued, along with a marketing degree, a electrical or a mechanical degree as well. Because having that with a solid business background, I really think you can kind of write your own ticket. So it really depends on the background of the individual coming out. So if he's strong in marketing, then I would definitely recommend getting some technical expertise. And if he's great with the technical expertise, then really sales and marketing background, or an addition, I should say, to it, is perfect.
Excellent. Thank you. So what other industries have you worked in, Mr. Hannan?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I never thought of myself as sticking in the interconnect world. I mean, I've always been kind of one to kind of roll with the punches. And I was lucky enough to get that job at Auget that I had talked about. But, I really felt, gosh, I kind of just roll the punches and see where it takes me. And this company called Winchester Electronics came after me and wanted me to join their sales team. And I really had no intention of leaving Auget, but the sales manager kept calling me and said, your name keeps popping up. There's an engineer over at Data General who just thinks you'd be a perfect fit here. And we've got the opportunity to actually come to Winchester and open up, your own little sales world, because I was in product marketing, so I'd never really carried the bag, and always in the back of my mind wanted to be able to actually have my own sales territory. So after a couple of, I would say it took about 6 months, but we finally negotiated, and I went on board and took over Massachusetts accounts and Southern Rhode Island accounts, or I should say all of Rhode Island accounts. And of course, Data General was certainly one of those. And I worked in that for a couple of years. And then shortly after that, they brought me into the national account group, and really enjoyed that. And within 2 years, they had promoted me into the global account group.
Wow.
So I really had no ambition to leave Winchester now. And I'd worked, in total, I had worked 11 years at Auget. Now I was rolling into 18 years at Winchester. And my former boss had called me, Jim Gillen, who was working here at Delta. And he called me out of the blue one day. I hadn't talked to Jim in 6 or 7 years. And he says, we have an opportunity at this company I've been working for, Terry, Delta Electronics. And he told me, Terry, I'm 66 years old right now. If I was 56 years old, I know where I'd be for the next 10 years. He says, it's been a great company. And I said, Jim, I'm not looking for an opportunity. I've been at Winchester now 18 years. I get plenty of vacation time. I'm their #1 salesperson. And I just had no inkling to leave. But he said, just come up, we'll have lunch. And I was like, okay, I'll come up. I haven't seen you in a while. And the next thing you know, I'm meeting this lady named Diane Delaney, and I'm meeting several of the managers, and I realized I'm in an interview. Well, so it wasn't too long after that when I spoke with Jim further, and he told me about what an excellent company it is. And they would actually create a director of sales and marketing for me. Jim, I think, was considered sales manager. So when they did that, I said, you know what, I'm going to take the leap and do it. And holy cow, that was over 19 years ago now. So, again, in my 20th year at Delta, and it's been everything Jim told me it was. Just a terrific company, and I can't be more pleased to have taken this job and an opportunity at Delta.
Wow. What makes Delta different than other companies?
Well, Shan, I think that's an easy question. In fact, I know it's an easy question. It's really the leadership team here at Delta, the team concept that our president, Diane Delaney, has really fostered over the years. She is such a people person that I think everyone appreciates. Um, I know she appreciates the commitment that everyone gives to her, and I know everyone just appreciates her and her loyalty to her employees. So it really comes from Diane allowing you to do your job. You have the opportunity to bring thoughts forward. We typically get together as a group, but she does make the final decision come the end of the day. And boy, knowing that she has your back and the commitment she's given to all her employees, I mean, I see her go out to the manufacturing floor and interact with the folks out there. So it's just not the managers and the senior managers and the supervisors. She knows most all employees, and she'll know the employees' children's names. I mean, that goes a long way. And we're a pretty good sized company. So for someone to be able to do that on our manufacturing floor is pretty significant and really shows the character of the woman. And she's, us making high quality products certainly helps too, because that actually gives us a real sense of worth and knowing that we're growing this business and the company is heading in the right direction. But it really is Diane Delaney. She's the one who made this happen.
I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you. So my next question is, in a world where employees rarely stay for 5 years, what makes you and all of our coworkers so loyal to Delta?
Well, I'm a bit of an anomaly in this industry. I've worked for just 3 companies since graduating from college, and all in the interconnect space. I spent 7 years post-grad with my first company, Auget, which we talked about, 18 years with the next company, and now over 19 years at Delta. I know I'd stay there another 19 years if I could, but the calendar kind of tells me it's time for me to move on. So I won't be doing that, but boy, I'll tell you, I wish I had just joined the company a lot earlier. But it's really easy to see why the people stay here, and we have so many people that have stayed so many years. There's a lady in customer service, a terrific person, been over 40 years with the company. We have others down the machine area, over 40 years with the company. Many in 30 years with the company, and so many in the 20s. That I still feel like the rookie. I'm just going into my 20th year now, and I still feel like one of the rookies in the company. So a lot of that really starts at the top with Diane Delaney, and that's why people stay here. She's the daughter of the founder, president of our company, and she runs a professional organization, and she cares so much about the human element.
Thank you very much, and I agree with you. So who is filling Terry Hannan's big shoes?
Well, I don't know how big the shoes are, but we have brought on, in fact, I brought Tom Barron on about 3 years ago, knowing that this day would come for me. So I had known Tom from my past life and just knew of his really good characters. He's the right personality, the right fit. He's technically very competent. He handles people very well. He's got a lot of good management skills. So I just thought Tom would be the perfect fit for this company. When I found out that he was available a couple of years ago, I actually went to Diane Delaney and said, Diane, as much as I want to be here for many more years, I get a sense that I've got 2 or 3 years left, and then Sherry and I are going to want to start our next chapter. So I convinced Diane to bring Tom into the picture, and he's been with us as a new product development manager now for the last 3 years, and he has now accepted the position to take over as director of sales and marketing. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, what a team we have.
Terry, I know I speak for the entire team here at Delta when I say thank you for your years of dedication and service and for the overall attitude and professionalism you've brought to the company. We will sincerely miss you.
Thank you, Shannon. I will truly miss the company and the camaraderie, but I'm ready for what comes next in my life for Sherry and me. It's going to be a neat path, and I'm ready for it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.